We are live. Hello, everybody. There we go. Welcome to First Friday Productivity Stream, where it is the first Friday of June. So we are here for a couple hours on my channel to get stuff done. There we go. Opposite side. And excuse the construction noise if you can hear it. Lots of stuff going on. Busy time. And this is one for the youngins. Can anyone tell me what this is? And for anyone else, if you want to laugh at me for how long I have kept this, feel free. Feel free. We are going to be doing planning and reading today. I don't know about you, but that is my plan. I actually am going to be away from the house next week, and so I had to pre-record my video for Sunday, and I was telling Leslie it is just painful to remember how long it takes. Recording is fine, that's just like a live stream, but then editing, exporting, uploading, we're on 3 hours so far of uploading to YouTube, and it's still, it's at 95%. This is why I don't do that anymore. But that's where we are. We're here for some productivity. We're planning for next week. We're on top of things. Who am I? My name's Margaret Pinard. I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author and eclectic reader. And if you're here, you're on Booktube. So hopefully you're here for a fun time talking about books and today getting stuff done. So what's the haps? Woke up with a migraine. I'm sorry. Oh, hi, cat paw. 3 hours. Wow. Yeah. I don't know why. It doesn't normally take that long. Maybe it's just out of practice, out of conditioning. Does that happen to computers? I don't think so. But I did have a little announcement. So I've got lots of what I would call deliverables if I was working in the corporate environment, which I'm not, but I'm calling them that anyway. So I've got this intensive interview series organized for August called AgitationAugust, and it's going to be a lot of people coming on to be guests on my channel and talk about what they're most agitated about and a book that was the rabble-rousing book for them. And I've got a graphic. I just made this with the book covers for each day for the guests coming on. We've got a kickoff where I will preview the schedule. We've got the book covers that everyone will be discussing if you want to put any of those on your calendar. And then we'll have like a wrap up on the final Friday. So that was my bangarang opportunity. But yeah, so I just posted this on Instagram, and if anyone is curious about talking about books, talking about anti-intellectual society, talking about critical reading skills, talking about things that they're worried and how they're fighting back, that's what we're going to be talking about in August. And I invite you to check out the books and come by and be part of the conversation. So if you want to pop over to Instagram, you can share that in your stories to spread the word, and I would be very grateful. Although, you know, you do have to twist my arm to do anything on Instagram, so I understand if that's not where you live. If not, I also shared it on Blue Sky. It's just not as many people over there that I know yet, so find me on Blue Sky. I am Margaret Pinard. So it's 5 minutes in. We're going to jump into our first sprint, and it's going to be 25 minutes. So it's going to be 30 minutes after the hour where we will stop and take a break. I know they're too small to see. I will have a word list coming soon after, but this is in case people recognize the book covers that small or they can blow it up. But yeah, I don't have room to put everyone's names and channels, and I definitely want to get that info out there as well. So yeah, we'll have different graphics. This is just the first one, and yeah, point taken. All right, I will mute myself, and I'm going to start with some planning for the month, and hopefully feel a little better afterwards. Okay, mute and see you in 25. Just in time. There we go. 30 minutes. Okay. I'm allowed to speak. Speak. All right. So the check's just finished. So that's 3.5 hours for a video to upload and get checked for YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. How's your morning going, everybody? I just went through some of my task lists and checked off some things. I also kept waking up the computer that is doing the uploading so it wouldn't fall behind. And I also updated a couple graphics and corresponded with the next TRC guest, Susan Palumbo. So hopefully getting all that stuff together. What'd you guys work on? Are you writing? Are you reading? My reading thing is going to be this one because I don't want to take it with me. It's a hardcover. Waiting for the Night Song by Julie Carrick-Dalton is my current Herkiad read. It's a dual timeline, eco-thriller, murder mystery in the past, etc. So set in New Hampshire, not always where you get settings in novels. It's interesting. How's everyone doing? Emma Bennett came in to say hello. Jim came in and said hello. Cat's here. Ginger Bibliophile. Laura's here. Laura's writing. Woo. Overachiever. 418 words. Woo. Nicely done. Nicely done. Writing. It's such a different skill from organizing or administrative or tech. One of the things I got to do later today is packing, and not only clothes packing for a week, but also considering what I can bring food-wise so that I can be pretty independent, because I think there's going to be a lot of people, and I'm pretty good to go with the flow in terms of not eating meat, not eating something special or separate, but like I'm going to need to bring things with me for meals. So yeah, trying to plan that ahead before I leave tomorrow at like 4 a.m. I've got lots of family waiting for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What else am I looking forward to? I've been working on this. So this is my little graphic to share. I can make it bigger. If I go to preview, how do I plus? Does that help? Does that help anybody? Yeah. So I've got book covers for folks, and we're going to be talking all month long about books that get us up in arms. And I've got a different stack of books waiting for that. I just found an ebook version of a book that I have that someone just added to this list. So I've got a new graphic I'll put up once I have the final one from Gareth. But pretty excited. Most of these are books that I am aware of and have on my wish list. So pretty cool. Kat says, where are you headed to? And is the kitty coming along again? No, the kitty is staying here and getting a babysitter while I go down to California, because it's only a week, and like the drive down is too much to do twice in a week. So we are flying, and we don't fly with the kitty because that's just silly. 4 a.m. Ouch. Yeah. Bangarang! Haven't watched Hook in forever. Well, I was just telling Albert the other day about Born to Rant, which is a new channel I started subscribing to. They don't have that much content yet, but they've got some great examinations of old school classics for millennials, and they do a good one on Hook, stuff I didn't know, and like great scenes that I miss. So that was cool. Yeah, and if you don't know where to find this graphic to look at it more closely, or scroll as you will, it's on Instagram, and you can blow it up to your heart's content. We've got a Ven in the house. Hello, friend. I hope you're feeling better. Oh, you're sick in the last message, so I hope you're doing better. Laura says, emergency sex sounds interesting. Yes. And that guest has already informed me that I'll probably have to not mention it in the first 30 seconds, not mention it too many times, not put it in the keywords. Otherwise, I'll get like banned or something. So, yeah, got to watch out for that. But in the development space, that's interesting topic to delve into. So be very different from what we normally tackle here. But yeah, so June is a month for her kid reading as I get my last few books done for that readathon. July is a month for Agitation August reading. So I will have some mood reading, obviously, but a lot geared towards like the dozen books that I'm trying to at least get a little bit into, to be able to write up questions and discuss with the folks who are coming on, as their favorite book or as, their thought piece book. So I'll come out with another graphic with names and channels so everyone can learn about new folks with, similar mindsets or lots of good resources. So that's good. And yeah, then August, I probably won't be doing much reading other than immediate escape like romance or mystery. And then September, there's like a secret project going on and probably not that much reading either. So it might actually be a low read year. A big unhaul and a low read year. I know that might surprise some people, but yeah. Yeah. Quite the title. I've never heard of that being an emergency. Yeah. Well, if you read the subtitle, you get more information on the community that they're talking about. So Kat says, sounds like a bad line. If we don't do it now, I'm going to die. It's an emergency. You're going to kill me if you refuse to. Yeah, not exactly what it's about. Yeah. Wow. Laura outing herself on the type of fanfic she reads. All right. Yeah, so that's like the fun little thing I'm introducing, and I'd love if you are on Instagram, if you could hop over and share that to your stories and maybe tag someone who you think might be interested so that if they go, ooh, that book sounds interesting, get that date on your calendar and maybe you can join us live and join the conversation. That'd be really fun. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to jump into our second sprint and do some reading this time. So, yeah, let me rig up my next banner and we'll do 25 minutes, which means, math, 45, 47, 57, 3, 2, 02. Jesus. All right, so 2 minutes after the hour, and I'll mute myself and have fun. And we're back. We're talking funny dogs and greedy squirrels. Diane came in. Hello, hello. I've got drills going on right outside the window, so don't even worry. Be loud. Cat said, JB just scared the crap out of a greedy squirrel on the porch, and I can't stop laughing. I feel bad, but she's been chowing down this whole time. And then Laura said, oh, I had a squirrel, this guy says, stealing my strawberries the other day. So cheeky. Yeah. One of the things I've got to do, and I thought I would ask for advice or just poll the room, I guess, is packing books for a holiday, for vacation. So like, I'm not going to bring this with me, even though I'm almost halfway through it and it's a thriller and I want to finish it because it's a hardcover and I need to bring it back. So like, this is twice as much luggage. I'm going to pick the slimmer paperback volumes that I'm reading for her kid or the ebook reader. And I don't like to pack too many cords, so I've got all these like charging cords, and I'm like, okay, I've got my headphones, got my phone. Am I gonna bring a computer? Am I gonna bring an e-reader? Those take different charging cords. It's all so complicated. What do you guys do? How do you decide what to bring to read? It's only a week, but I will be in the airport for a bit and flying. But they're short flights. It's only like an hour and a half. So I've been back for a couple weeks and it feels just like I'm holding my breath in between family stuff. I get a little break and then I'll go back. So it's a bit weird. I have gotten lots of things done, been productive, but my energy and mood have been all over the place because I can't like settle to something. I always take about 6 times as many books as I end up reading. Yeah. Lately, I've taken one item of clothing that I ended up not wearing when I go on trips. And I'm like, why did I take so much clothing? But books, I think lately I've trimmed down on the books. And so that's the opposite problem. I think we go in cycles. I don't know. What does anyone else think? And apologies if you can hear the construction. Oof. It's a fun place to be. Oh my gosh. Jim says, I only take 1 or 2 physical books and then read the books on my phone. Yeah, I guess it would force you to use something that you're already bringing anyway, your phone. But it's so small. Oh. So Jim was talking about his shoulder, doing therapy for his shoulder. Someone else was talking about their neck. Oh, that was my second cousin. That wasn't a Booktube person. But I think I've been looking down too much at my phone or laying down looking up at a book. I've got some neck issues, and so I'm trying not to do that as much. So definitely, how would you look at an e-reader? Up? I don't know. I'm trying to not hurt myself here as I get old. It's not working. Cat Paw says, same as Jim. So 1 or 2 physical books and then read the books on your phone. Okay. Yeah. Which ones will I take? Which ones? I'm thinking of doing some like last minute switching for her kid. So the Q book is actually just over 500 pages. So the Alice network might work for the 500 pages book and the Q prompt. But I won't have a whole day to read it. So I'm definitely not bringing that one. But there's a Veronica Roth book called When Among Crows that I might use for the V book instead of Vicious. So I'm like last minute substitutions because I get rebellion syndrome. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Book Chat with Pat just mentioned rebellion syndrome on one of her tags. And I said, oh, yeah, I get this. I totally get this. This is why I'm usually a mood reader and I usually don't do TBRs anymore because I hate the feeling of having to read a certain book in a certain time period. Laura says I've dropped my phone on my face too many times. Yeah, that's not fun. That is not fun. I can definitely sympathize. I do silly gaffes like this as well. I had right where I am now, I was walking around barefoot and I have a kind of chair that has like melded metal for the bottom part. And I just walked very forcefully into it. And I think I maimed my little fourth toe on my left foot and it hasn't healed. And this is like last November. It's sort of okay, but whenever I like connect with something, it hurts. So it didn't like heal. So yeah, it's weird. Cat Paw is suggesting set it on a table at the right angle. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could build a little tower. That's what I have right now for the computer. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 big chunkers making a little tower for my laptop so that it's at the right angle instead of looking down. It's still looking a little down. The camera is even with my eye, but the keyboard and the screen is lower. So yeah, I guess I could make a higher book tower, but then I get scared that there's more things that can fall. So yeah. Laura says, I do that all the time too. Yeah. This is why I've taken to like wearing slippers, like moccasins in the house most of the time, because number one, there's always cat litter everywhere. But number two, it softens the blow when I hit something, which I am bound to do. So, yeah. So, are you guys like cruising around watching videos when we're not on break? Or are you reading? Or are you doing something else productive? Let me know and we'll get ready for our our third sprint. I think we might have time for 2 more. So 10, 25, 35. Yeah, we'll have to make it short for the last one. But yeah. 10 minutes after plus 25 will be 35. So I guess I did a bit of reading. I'm not going to finish this today. Wait, no, I'm past halfway. Sorry, I looked at the screen, which was backwards. I'm past halfway. I might finish this today. It's only like 120 pages left. All right, well, TBD what I'm going to work on. I'll figure this out as soon as I mute myself. So good luck and talk to you in 25 minutes. We're back. All right. We got some interesting comments here. Okay, so I was asking about not hurting myself while I'm reading or looking at the phone. And how do people do that? So Kat says, I was going to read, but it got distracted by wildlife and covering the hole they made to bring the birdseed container in. I'm not sure what this means. Where's the hole? Is it in the birdseed container? Then what are you bringing in? I'm picturing you bringing it into the house. But then where's the hole? I'm confused. Catpaw says, I have a plexiglass business card holder stuck down with blue tack for my phone. That seems pretty... Oh, I need to turn this off. Pretty innovative. That's a good idea. Because then it's like resting up. That's good. Blue tack, which is funny. Sticky tack. Those are the days. Let's see. Jim said he's reading The Bell Jar, which I recently unhauled, finally, after not reading for years. I looked through it and I was like, I don't think this is a book for me. Catpaw says to Jim, I'm considering rereading The Bell Jar. I read it several times in my early teens, and I think I missed a lot. How are you liking it so far? Jim said, I think it's very funny. She recounts drinking a finger bowl, thinking it was a Japanese soup. And when I read that, I was like, wait, I just saw that in a TV series. So maybe they copied it from The Bell Jar. Could totally happen. Ben said he's finishing reading a cyberpunk vampire, in quotes, indie called Toothsucker. After that, I may try and record something. Why is it in quotes? Is it not a real vampire? Are they sparkly? And then my feedback on my book is that it's a dual timeline, and sometimes the past timeline when they're teens and during the summer is a thriller, and then sometimes it's just teen melodrama, which I don't like. So I am not liking the seesaw. But I have to finish it. Laura says, always expected The Bell Jar to be so depressing, but once I finally read it, I remember it being surprisingly funny. And this I'm very curious about. Jim says there's a connection between humor and depression. So I asked him to elaborate. Laura agrees. Catpod agrees. But like, oh, okay. So the people who have depression have a good sense of humor. A lot of top comedians suffer depression. The Tears of a Clown. Is that something other than a song? I know this is a song. Is it also like poetry or something? Laura says partly deflection. Yeah, I could see that. Ben says, going to have to drop back in early tomorrow. Have fun, everyone. Bye, Ben. I'm guessing you did not record. That was too quick. And then Kat says, huge birdseed container that someone, probably the squirrel, made a big hole across the front of. So it's leaking badly. Oh, okay. Got to seal it up before I bring the container in. I see. Okay, so the hole's in the container, but you have to seal it up before you bring it in. That's the in part. Gotcha. Probably haven't read The Bell Jar since I was 20. The sad clown paradox. I don't know. Is that a psychology thing? Maybe it's a thing that I've never heard. Sad clown. Yeah, so deflection or masking depression with humor. We're getting very clinically astute, I think, here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So my video finished uploading and checking, but I forgot during the sprint that meant that I could finish scheduling it. So I will have a shorter last sprint, and we could jump in and do one final thing for like 10 minutes because I think that's all it'll take. So I'd be sad if I was a clown too, scary bastards. Yeah. Laugh so they don't cry, I guess. I've heard several times, check in with the always happy people. You never know how they're really doing. Yeah. Oh, I just don't like clowns. Yeah. I think this was a thing in the 80s because I think my sister had a couple, like, not dolls, but doll-like things that were clowns. I think it was like a fad. And then I visited a friend in the 90s, and I remember thinking, huh, she's got the same kind of clowns, like the Italian painted hat wearing. It's not commedia. It's what is it? Carnival, maybe? Like a specific, and I don't know the word, type of clown. So she was into those. Never watched it, never read it. No interest. But I'm excited about the tags I'm going to share on Sunday. So this really stupidly long upload process is for a video that has 3 tags, and I filmed it yesterday, and so that will be ready to go for you on Sunday. And I don't normally do pre-recorded videos, so this is like a novelty. So I hope you guys enjoy it. What was funny is that normally when I make a mistake live, maybe some people are very afraid of doing that, but it was more embarrassing for me to do that in the editing process because I just I could not be bothered to re-say the thing. I just said the word in voiceover. So see if you can catch it. It'll sound real natural. I'm sure it'll be hard. It won't be hard. It's just kind of funny that I had to put those in. 2 things I messed up. So Harlequins. Yes, Laura got it. And she says I remember seeing those around. Yeah, Harlequins. Yeah. Thank you. Perfect. Jim says Andy Kaufman, Robin Williams. Yeah, folks who met sad ends, tragic ends that were really good comedians. I don't know much about Andy Kaufman. I remember when he died, but I don't remember liking his humor. But I did love Robin Williams' performances. Nice. Mistakes just mean you're human. It'll probably make you laugh though on the editing piece because it's so not subtle. We should add mistakes to show we are humans, not AI. Oh, I like that. That's a good take. All right, let's do one last 10-minute sprint. And I'm going to get my video all ready to go. So 52. And it's even got a little bloopers reel at the end. And I think Laura inspired one of the bloopers. So have fun with that. All right, 10 minutes, last push, everybody. Tell me what you got done. Okay, that was our last little thing here. What do we got in the chat? All right, last comment. Yes. Something you said in a recent live stream made me include a certain blooper. A cat says, yay, bloopers. Love bloopers. Yeah, it's fun. You only get to do those when you edit, so I don't get to do them very often. Dan says, I'm reading Zorandor by Christine Brooke Rose. It's a sci-fi computer science techie book from 1986. It's one that Greg talked about in a video, 7 books people aren't reading anymore. Interesting. Interesting niche. Computer science techie. Okay, cool. Dan says, I'm surprisingly enjoying it. It's unique. Best I've found as a read-along due to the writing style and computer language usage. Lots of gibberish. You know what I read way after it was actually the jargon that people were using is the cuckoo or the cuckoo's nest. It's this like really nerdy name and I can't remember, but it's about computer science and the early days of the internet and like the first virus and cliff somebody. And it was really good. The Cuckoo's Egg. That's what it is. So if you like something that's like dated but still well done, Cuckoo's Egg by Cliff somebody was really good. Recommend it. So intriguing. And we've got Felicia here. Howdy, howdy. Welcome. We're just finishing up here with our 2-hour productivity stream. We got published with Andy. Hello. Kat says, I read a few pages from Deep Black. It's a spy thriller with a few different missions going on at once. Ooh, about 20% in and still not sure how I feel about it. That's fair. Totally fair. Dan says, I'll look it up. Yeah, Cuckoo's Egg. And Laura says, love the covers of 80s books. Yeah, this one's pretty pulpy, or at least the copy that I had was like a really thin, really kind of cheap paperback, and it's probably fallen apart by now. But yeah. Andy's been lurking. You lurker. I don't know what that was. That was an attempt at an accident. I took the 10 minutes to try to upload the video for Sunday, and I'm not there yet because some people have to be divas and put random symbols in their channel so that it's really hard to search them. Kappa says, I fed the cats. Nice. I did some reading. I did some planning. I did some correspondence. And now I'm trying to finish this freaking video task. And then I'll be able to relax for a bit, get some lunch, hydrate, get ready for tomorrow. So yeah. Feed the cats, stay alive. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Good times. I had one of those moments where I was like, I remember something, but I don't remember it fully. And it was a moment where the people that I was running with on Booktube were having issues with time zones. And people used a phrase that people in the mainstream said, like, good times. But then they turned it into good time zones. And I think it was something that was only in the chat because it doesn't sound right when I say it out loud. But you would comfort me a lot if you can say, you remember this as well. A moment in time. Yeah, hopefully I'm not dreaming it up and thinking it's real. Yeah. I'm doing like the cards and I'm doing all that stuff that I don't normally do. So yay. All right, well, that is us knitted up for today. Please go check out Agitation August. I've got the calendar on Instagram and Blue Sky. So if you spy some of the book covers that you're excited about, this is the first graphic that I'm putting out there. I'm going to update some that I didn't have before. And then the next time I release a little deliverable, it will be with everyone's names and channels so that you can subscribe and put these on your calendar and hopefully join us in our conversation about critical thinking skills in a functioning society. Hey, it's a hopeful podcast. What can I say? So I think that's it for today. And thanks for joining, everybody. I'll see you Sundays and Wednesdays usually for bookish opinions. Yeah. Cat Paw remembers that. Yes, I'm not completely crazy. Thank you, Cat Paw. And on that note, bye, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Happy reading and happy weekend.